Hello, everybody. I see we've got some participants joining. Hello, to those out in Cyberland. This is Good Talk with Katy. And we'll just let a few folks join us here, which is great to have folks here. So excited to have another edition of this. Well, welcome to everyone. I see some familiar faces in the participants, which is great. So this is our 12th Good Talk with Katy, and this is a really special one. I'm really excited. Today we're going to talk about behavioral health. We're going to talk about our newest PROS program, and we're going to meet Helen, a featured artist this year for our holiday card. So I'm really excited to speak with her, and I was just telling her that when I was at the Harlem PROS site, I walked by and saw her piece and was really moved by it. So I hope all of you will be as well when you get to see our holiday card later this month. But first, let me just start by welcoming everybody who's joining us. This is Good Talk with Katy. This is a great time for you to, pull up a cup of coffee and learn a little bit more about Goodwill, what we do, what our mission is, and really the impact that we make and how you can be a part of it. So behavioral health is one of our three pillars here at Goodwill. What we do at Goodwill is bulldoze barriers to employment and make sure everyone is independent and feels healthy and supported. Behavioral health services is one of the pillars that we provide, and we want to make sure that everyone stays healthy on their jobs and out of the hospital. More than 1 in 5 New Yorkers has a symptom of mental disorder, and many of our friends and neighbors live with mental health conditions. It's so important to reduce the stigma of mental illness that many people experience in their lives every day. Goodwill has been providing behavioral health services for more than 2 decades. So again, if you're someone who's just joining us and is thinking, well, I know Goodwill, this is going to be about thrift stores. This is not what this is about. We're going to tell you the story behind the thrift store. We have our amazing team, like Daisy Tan, who you're going to hear from today, works to connect folks who are living with mental illness to their peer community, advocate for their rights, bulldoze barriers to employment, and connect them to the beauty and enchantment of life. Our 2 clubhouses offer a safe space for individuals to socialize, to eat with peers. We offer breakfast and lunch at our clubhouses. We advocate for their rights. We connect them to temporary employment, avoid isolation, and stay engaged with their own community. We have peer advocates, which is a wonderful program called PAL. These are persons with lived experience. So lived experience means that you yourself have a diagnosis, that you've experienced mental illness, and that you are part of a person in recovery community. Our peers support individuals through that with a totally different perspective as a peer-to-peer on how to approach recovery and stay healthy. Once people are ready to work, they work with our assisted competitive employment team if they're beyond transitional work and they want to work full-time. And that team, Devin up in the Bronx, helps us offer supported employment to services with adults and a lot of times with co-occurring substance use diagnoses. We prepare them for competitive employment. Competitive just means that you're applying. You're doing the application with everyone else and, you're getting hired just like anyone. And we provide follow-up supports, which is something that we do in all of our programs. And we know that that's part of our secret sauce here at Goodwill that really helps people get employed and stay employed. So we are so proud of our impact in 2022 and 2023 is almost over, but I don't have all those numbers yet. So you're going to have to just bear with me for one more time where I tell you my 2022 numbers. We had over 9,000 people receive training, employment, and behavioral health services throughout Goodwill. And I'm so excited to speak with one of them today. We helped find new homes for 39 million pounds of pre-loved clothing and home goods, including, of course, this dress I'm wearing today, which is very warm. It's wool because it is exquisitely cold outside. And we've helped actually even open some new programs this year, including our Harlem PROS program. So I am very excited today to talk to Daisy Tan, our assistant director of one of our 3 PROS programs. One of them is in Astoria, Queens. One of them is in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. and you are in Upper Manhattan. So I'm so excited to have you with us. Daisy is a licensed creative art therapist with a master's degree in art therapy and counseling. She joined Harlem PROS in August of last year as an intake coordinator and helped participants engage in Harlem PROS. She's passionate about growing Harlem PROS, yay, and building a sense of community within the program. And she was promoted to her current position last August. I'm so excited. That's wonderful. Daisy's worked in a variety of human services organizations and art organizations over the years, and she believes in the power of community to further healing and dismantle mental health stigma. Thank you for being here today, Daisy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So tell me, what does PROS stand for? We use a lot of acronyms in this kind of work. So let's just break it down. What does that mean?
So PROS is broken down as personalized recovery-oriented services. So we're an outpatient mental health program that service basically. We differ from other outpatient mental health programs because we specifically want our participants to be in the community doing what they want to do and achieve their goals. So especially with Helen here, which will be introducing soon. She wants to get back into the workforce one day. And then also there are some who wants to get their GED or maybe enroll in college and pursue a college degree. Or even some just want to do some vocational training. But the opportunities are endless and we want to help them do what they want to do in the future.
I love it. I mean, we say sometimes at Goodwill that we're person-centered. So really this is about a personalized recovery, right? So what is right for that individual? And maybe you can tell me a little bit about what's a day at PROS like? What would I engage with if I was coming into PROS?
Yeah, we, program opens at 8:30. We start all our groups at 9:45. And then it goes on to until 2:15. So our last group is at 1:30. But sometimes they might have time in between the groups. So everybody gets a chance to talk to each other, say hi, say good morning, good afternoon, check in with each other. I think the beauty of our program is that sense of community and really, welcoming each other into the space. And it's not just staff doing it, but it's also really beautiful to see that the participants themselves are doing it and making sure everyone feels comfortable and safe here.
Great. And is there any medical services at PROS?
Medical or mental health?
Medical, in addition to the supportive mental health.
Well, no, but we do have a nurse who checks participants' blood pressure, temperatures, just in case if they're not feeling well or something they feel like they're a little off. And then if something's wrong, maybe they have a high temperature, which by the way, right now is winter time. So, sometimes they might be like, oh, I'm feeling a little bit ill. Our nurse will check on them and see if they're okay. And then we'll refer them where they need to go and encourage them to go to their primary care doctor to receive medical services.
Great. And then I guess I was under the impression that some folks do receive some of their psychotropic medication.
Right.
So that's what I was trying to ask.
Oh, that part, yes. We do have psychiatrists and nurse on staff, yes. And our psychiatrist is wonderful. He really is very person-centered and holistic, really helps our participants meet them where they're at and also listen to them. So if they feel like their medication's working, great. The medications may not be working. He really works with them to make sure that they get the right treatment they need, in addition to every other services they receive here. Wonderful. And we all work as a team. It's not one person, psychiatrist says what, and then that's that. But everyone works, great as a team here.
That's fantastic. And I noticed all the art in the program. You're obviously an art therapist, which is awesome. How does art help persons living with mental illness in their recovery? How does that work?
Um, yeah, no, I feel like art is a great way for someone who may have a lot of difficulty expressing themselves through words. Um, And, as an art therapist, we're trained to really not only guide our patients and clients to explore their mental health, their thoughts, their feelings, but it's also a way for them to understand what they're going through as well. Sometimes words can't always
Hmm.
be um, well put and it doesn't convey what they're trying to say. So art is just another method for them to, be able to say what they want to say. Um, because of course, as a person-centered approach, we want them to be able to say, if I'm not comfortable, why am I not comfortable? Where am I at right now? So, and also art, it helps them have some satisfaction and fulfillment from what they're doing at the end of the process.
Yeah, wonderful. I love that we have art programs. I know that other folks we have, what are some of the other kinds of groups that I might go to if I was at Pro?
We have a writing journaling group. We have a lot of psychoeducation groups. We also have meditation. We also have meditation. We also have health nutrition groups. That's being facilitated by our nurse.
Wonderful.
So and
Great.
our
So lots. And
nurses
Helen,
back
do you,
from medical.
sorry, I was interrupting you. Well, wonderful. Well, how can people learn more and enroll if they want to become a member of Harlem Pros?
Well, first things first is you can call our number and
Yeah.
find my name, ask for me, and I'll provide all the information. I also have a flyer. But even so, look on the Goodwill website. We're listed there. My phone number is there so that if you have any questions, feel free to ask me anything about our program.
That's great. And we get most of our referrals from hospitals and from communities. So, we would love to connect with anyone who thinks that they've got who themselves or has a loved one or a neighbor who would like to join us.
Yeah,
Um, and we also have services at Goodwill NY.org, which is a general mailbox, which you can send to. And I've referred a lot of folks that I've met out in the community to that. So I'm very excited about that. Now I would like to meet Helen or introduce Helen, who received services at PROS since 2019. Thank you so much for joining us today. Can you please tell us a little bit about your life before coming to Goodwill and what was going on for you?
Before I came to Goodwill, I was working as a caregiver for a cancer patient at Mount Sinai, and I was working 7 days a week.
Mm. Great. How did you find out about Harlem Pros and why did you decide to join?
I had basically a mental breakdown, and I was also exhausted and fatigued, and so I went to the hospital. And while I was at the hospital, they suggested PROS. And I
Wonderful.
said, Goodwill. And I said, Goodwill sells clothing. That's all they do. I had no idea that they have all those services.
Helen, that is a normal response, but that's what we're trying to do today is to get out the word that when you buy the clothes and you think about the thrift store, it's really an engine that allows us to do the work where you and Daisy are, and so it's a bigger part. That's the good. Everybody knows that Goodwill does good, but this is the good that we're really trying to share. And we hope we can. I'm so glad that you got to come and, tell us a little bit about what services or what you've mentioned meditation. What do you like at PROS, and how do you feel like it really helps you and your health and your recovery?
PROS has changed my life. Once I got out of the hospital, the next day I came to PROS. I was a mess. I was unstable. I was still a little bit nervous, a little depressed. And this is such a loving and welcoming and supportive environment. I participate in meditation, in movement, in cognitive behavioral therapy. They teach you about finances. They help you get a job. They help you with your resume and cover letter. You have a counselor. There's a nurse here.
Right.
So I cannot be happier and surprised.
Well, good. That's a nice kind of surprise. Well, thank you
Yes.
so much for sharing that. That's really meaningful for all of us who work here at Goodwill and want to know that these personalized recovery programs are working and our behavioral health programs really do make an impact. Um, you know, um, how is socializing? How are the other members? You were talking a little bit about community. Is there anything that you want to say, or is there, what's it like with the community at PROS?
The community is really wonderful. They're really welcoming. They check in with you. You check in with them. You get to know them. You have conversations. I would say in my life, it's the only place where I can be me. I can say, look, I'm not feeling well. I'm depressed. Whereas in the outside world, I try to mask, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you have a space like this. This is wonderful. And now, we're talking a little bit about art today. Tell me a little bit about your art and how you're inspired and what kind of art you create.
I started as a photographer. I bought a $150 camera from an Ulta, I remember, and I would just go around and taking pictures. And then I saved up and I got a better camera. I had a lot of shows at Exit Art and White Cube, and what else? Leslie Roman Gallery. And then I got to show in a museum, actually, in the 90s. So, and then at home, I paint, I draw. Yeah.
That's amazing. So you've shown in galleries in the 90s. So who are some of your favorite? What would you, since we're not looking at your art right now, how would you describe it for us, for some of your influences or what moves you?
I was really inspired when I was younger by Nan Golden, who's a photographer, and she photographs HIV, LGBTQ community. So I was extremely inspired by her.
That's awesome. I thank you for sharing that and your inspiration. How do you feel like art has helped you now at this stage in your life and in PROS? How's art a part of where you are in today?
Well, at the hospital, we had a wonderful art therapist. He was just phenomenal. I love that guy. And it reminded me how much I have to incorporate it in my life, because part of working 7 days a week, I really didn't have an opportunity to actually do my art. So that sort of inspired me. And then I came here and I met Daisy. And so it sustains me. It sustains me. It keeps me sane, I would say. Yeah.
Wonderful.
It's
That's wonderful. And one of the things we talk about at Goodwill, obviously, is employment. It's one of our cores, the power of work. Obviously, for you, work kind of drained you, and art is sustaining you. Is there anything you're looking for, though, in work? Do you have a goal related to employment?
Well, at this point, I just need a job, just sort of a non-stressful job to maintain some sort of structure and stability and some income.
Yes, of course.
So I realize a lot of jobs are not creative, and so, but it allows me outside of that to actually do my own work.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. A lot, that balance of work, and what work is for, and what the sustaining energy of life is for. That's great. Well, I think I've asked you a lot of questions. I really appreciate that. We actually have a couple questions from from Tamara at CEO Works, and she has asked, can you send me a flyer? So yes, we absolutely 100% will send you a flyer. You and Daisy will be connected soon. And then the question was, how long can you be engaged in PROS?
I think as long as you need it, absolutely. I think
Exactly. I think so too. Yeah, as long as you need it. So it's part of your recovery. There's no short term. This is a longer term um, engagement. In fact, one of these things at Goodwill is when we talk about those 9,000 people we served last year, I always want to put a little asterisk next to it and say, most of these people we've served sometimes for 4 years, like you, Daisy. It's in 2019. Some 16 years, some 24 years, some 4 months. So there's a big variety in there, but a lot of folks who are in these personalized recovery programs are clubhouses. You can be a member, forever, for as long as you'd like. Some of our autism and IDD programs, those are folks we work with really from when they graduate from high school, with intellectual developmental disability till, their retirement. Really, we're with them the whole time. So that 9,000 every year sounds maybe like we start and stop each year, but it's just a way to count.
Right.
So I hope, there's a lot of folks that we're with year over year and really providing this kind of healthy way of bulldozing barriers and seeing us through the different times of our lives, which is what Goodwill is for. Are there PROS locations in New Jersey? Is another question. We don't operate any PROS locations in New Jersey, Linda, but we will get you connected to those. We are currently, though, I was just testifying, I don't know, an hour ago in the state of New Jersey on their Zoom testimony for their budget. And we would really, really like to open a clubhouse in New Jersey. So if anyone knows of any resources or wants to help us connect and work on this, we just believe that a clubhouse in New Jersey is desperately needed. There are over 280,000 folks with mental illness, according to this, the census here in New Jersey, the state of New Jersey, and there's only one clubhouse in the whole state. To give some context, there are 16 clubhouses in New York City alone. So wow. We're really at Goodwill, we're really emphasizing, and we have the money, we have part of the money, we have half the money. If we could get the other half, we can be able to open a clubhouse this year. So we're really trying to do that. But Linda, we will make sure we connect with you and get you any other PROS locations in New Jersey for your community as well. Thank you guys for participating and asking us questions. This has been wonderful. Again, you can email services@Goodwill NY. Remember, I always have to put in this plug though, everyone who's listening, remember to drop off your gently used and pre-loved items to Goodwill locations. We do have 23 locations around, including here in Brooklyn, including uptown. We have some all the way to Albany, all the way uptown, all the way to Albany, and down in New Jersey as well, all the way south to East Brunswick. So since Goodwill's a nonprofit, we are also a big part of Giving Tuesday, which just happened yesterday. If you're interested in giving us a year-end donation, we would gladly help support programs like the one you've heard about today and all of our great work, and hopefully opening a new clubhouse. So I hope everyone has a safe and wonderful holiday season. And you we're really excited. I hope I mentioned this already, but I'm really excited because Helen's art is going to be featured in our holiday card this year. So we are so excited and really want to thank Helen for being an amazing, inspiring artist and an inspiring person. I really got a lot out of this conversation today, reminding me to stay centered and have a balance in my life, and really reducing stigma. We're all in this life together, and we're all here to capture that essence of those things we can't express, which we all have. So thank you so much today, and I hope I answered all of our community questions, and I look forward to our next Good Talk.